Shout out to Anno Domine Beats. Shalom Mashbaka, it's Yiqwaba. Like, share, and subscribe. Listen to the word of Yiqwaba. All right, fam. So let me go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna prolong this. I'm gonna just keep on talking until y'all come in. I'm not finna wait. And when y'all come in, I give a shout out to you. All right, so let me go ahead and get started. Now, imagine you going to the doctor office and, they say you got mental problems. And when you go inside the doctor office, this is the guy that's your doctor. And this is historical. A lot of us, Shalom, Sister Naomi. How you doing, sister? I ain't seen you in a while. You doing all right? So a lot of us, we go to the doctor's office when we feeling bad or whatever. And then you go to the doctor office and you see this cat right here. He your doctor, right? And so Mr. Samuel Cartwright say the doctor who coined Draketomania. So you go, they say you crazy, Somebody tried to hurt you and you try to defend yourself and they say you crazy. So they send you to Dr. Cartwright, all right? Or you was locked inside of a house or a room or something and you tried to get out and escape and Dr. Cartwright write you out a prescription. Let's hear what Dr. Cartwright will tell you what your prescription is. Now we're gonna read this history. It's easy to forget that up until very recently, slavery was a normal and accepted way of life. Since the beginning of recorded history, some humans have enslaved others, and people accepted it as the way of the world. It is boggling to the modern Western mind to think of slavery as the natural order. But in the United States, before the Civil War ended, the institution for good, oh boy, people twisted logic into knots trying to justify owning slaves. Scores of pseudo-scientific papers were produced to explain why some people were inferior to others. And while most of these theories were later debunked, racist ideals such as eugenics, posing as science, were accepted well into the 1930s. German scientists' particular enthusiasm for this pseudo and tragedy that affected its name later put most of the phony theories to rest for good. It might seem absurd, obvious as to why some bound by the shackles of slavery would make a break for it at the first chance they got. But back when racist ideals were accepted as scientific fact, bewildered slave owners turned to psychology to try and understand why their slaves were running away. In the master's view, slaves had been put on this earth to serve. In return, they were provided with food, clothes, and homes, and was baffling to the slave holders that the human beings they regarded as property would be willing to give that all up for freedom. $20 reward for a mentally ill Negro because he mentally ill because he ran away from the plantation. $20 reward. Just like they give a reward for a Negro that run away that's being framed for a crime they ain't commit, and they say slavery is over with. Let's read what they got up here for this reward for this Negro that ran away. $20 was a lot of money back then. Because even when I was growing up in Haines City and I used to go on 6th Street where my grandma stayed at where the train tracks at, my grandma said that they used to be able to buy a whole refrigerator full of groceries, fill up the cabinet and everything for a nickel. Now you got to spend about $50 just to get probably, about 3 packs of chicken. Runaway in the month of June, last from the subscriber residing in Alexandria by Negro woman Lucy called Lucy Payne. So Lucy Payne tried to run away, age about 50 years old. Now think about this here. This sister, 50 years old, her whole life robbed from her on this plantation, this slave plantation. And they say this woman is mentally ill. This is the roots of American psychology, the roots of the psychosis people, the people that lock up people and make them mentally ill. This is their roots. This is the roots of their psychology. Now, I did a live on Draketomania, and I did a live on mental illnesses, but the live wasn't on what they say Alzheimer's. I did a live on that, but my audio wasn't good, and hopefully this audio right here is better. So I did this. I'm doing this again, but I'm gonna shine new light on it, and by other things that I've been studying. It's just finna pile up these books on this right here. Age 50 years old, well set and fleshly. Look at how they describe this mother. Full breasts. They say she got full breasts. Front teeth decayed. They say her front teeth decayed. So you can't take out her teeth and put it in as your fault teeth, because you wouldn't want no teeth that's decayed. I wonder why she ain't want to take care of them. Grayish hair. The nail on one of her 4 fingers injured. The nail on one of her 4 fingers injured. Maybe she was talking to the mistress and saying, "Child, I broke my fingernail," and the mistress reporting all this in. You never know how they got this information. A small red mark on one of her cheeks. About 5 feet 2 or 3 inches. You know how when you meet somebody and they say, "How tall are you?" You say, "Oh, I'm 5'3", I'm 5'10", I'm 6'3", I'm thinking that you talking to somebody that's thinking with a normal mindset. But they thinking of you like, okay, 5 feet 2 or 3 inches, just take your mind back to this time. High. She 5 foot and 2 or 3 inches high. She says wearing a handkerchief generally on her head. So you know how the sisters say, we're gonna wear our veils on our head. This is our cultural practice. They're not seeing it the same way that you were seeing it. Look at this right here. They seeing it as, okay, this is that slave that we need to go and pick up because she mentally ill. She got Draketomania, and she might need to be taken to the Dr. Cartwright, so he can do some experiments on her. You know how they used to experiment on our ancestors You know how they came up with all these modern heart valves and all this stuff that they got now, and they ain't never paid no restitution to the people. You know, we should all be able to get some compensation every month because of all the hell that we done went through with that saved all these people's lives. I will give the above reward if delivered to me. Or $10, you know, $10 up. Ooh, if a nickel in my grandmama days, because my grandmama was born a free slave. She was born a freedman, but her mother was born a slave. And she said back in her time, a nickel was worth a lot of money. All right. A nickel can fill up your whole refrigerator, everything in your cabinet, and you can feed all them children. It's secure in jail. So they say if you lock her up in jail for running away because she mentally ill for wanting to be free, this 50-year-old mother that ran off the plantation, 5'2" or 3 inches tall, grayish kind of hair. She didn't take care of her teeth, probably because she didn't want the slave master to use them as dentures. She had the rosy mark on her cheeks. They check her out. They say she big. She got full breasts. Look at how they describing this sister here. It is believed that she is harbored in. That means somebody is taking her in. You know, harboring a fugitive. You remember the fugitive laws that, okay? Washington or 10 Neely Town. So they even pointing out her location. You know how they do on the news? She has a husband. Okay, so she got a husband residing in Washington City called Neely Town. She has a husband residing in Washington City called George Payne. Don't call the husband, call George Payne, because this woman mentally ill to run away from this plantation to be with her husband that we done took away from her. Alexandria, VA, February 19, 1851. 1851. My great-grandfather was born in the 1800s that I talk with. In the late 1800s. My younger grandfather, who is not my great-grandfather, but is my daddy's father, he was born in 1929. I used to get it mixed up with 30, but 1929, around 1928 or 29. Born a freedman. All right, so a poster advertising a reward for a runaway slave. Southern physician Samuel Cartwright believed he had found a rational explanation for this disturbing desire, escape servitude. He dubbed this disease, imagine somebody trying to run away from prison that was framed for something that they didn't do. Or somebody was locked up in prison because they spit on the ground. You know that was laws back then. If you spit on the ground, they could lock you up in prison. Or if you ain't got no place to stay or you ain't got no job, they can lock you up in prison because you won't go enslave for the man up there that used to beat and force himself on your grandparents and break people in front of the whole tribe. He dubbed this disease of the mind drapetomania, with Greek roots roughly translating to runaway slave and crazy. You see how Hellenism worked? You see how assimilation worked? And reassured slave owners that it was entirely curable by whipping the devil out of the slave. So where did that phrase come from? When somebody say, that person got the devil beat out of them. That's where that come from. Whipping the devil out of the slaves, out of the abid who suffer from it, from running off of them plantations. What's wrong with these Negroes wanting to be free, not to be beat down and criticized and forced assimilation on? What's wrong with these Negroes here? Cartwright was convinced that drapetomania was a psychological disorder because the creators will, in regard to the Negro, see how they said we was Negro, declares him to be a submissive knee bender. In other words, black people, Negroes, were put on this earth to be a bead. Black people were put on this earth to be a bead. And servitude was ingrained in their nature. Oddly, Cartwright blamed indulgent masters for the onset of this disorder. Oddly, Cartwright blamed indulgent masters for the onset of this disorder. For if the white man's attempt to oppose the deity would be treating his slaves even closer to equal, if you treat those Niggers closely to being equal, oh, by golly, you're aiding them to be mentally ill. By treating his slaves even close to equal, if you treat the slaves like they was the children of Adam, like they say we all come from Adam, this will disrupt the natural order and cause the fragile slaves to develop the mental illness. So have you wondered, when they was out there fighting in the military, why didn't they run when they was retreating from gunfire firing at them? Why was they not put inside of there for being mentally disabled, for running away and not wanting to be shot down? Why would if a slave run away, is they treated any different? Because they say the natural order, it wasn't about whether if it hurt or not. The natural order was that you was to be slaves, and they also felt like you didn't have no pain. Cartwright does generously concede the excessive cruelty on the part of the masters. He said it's cruel for you to treat people like they supposed to be treated. Cartwright does generously concede that the excessive cruelty on the part of the masters will also play a role in the cases of some runaway slaves. Of course, his article does not contain anything that comes close to scientific evidence, but if you just say it's science evidence, Cartwright offers nothing to back up his outrageous claims besides his own personal observations. Oh, missing Cartwright. Now, Will Smith did a movie on this elder right here. A slave who had been whipped, the recommended kill for drapetomania. Look at his back. This is a real brother. This ain't no fictional novel. This ain't no imaginary thing that, you know, the Bible spoke about these things happening to a group of people. And this is not no imagination that we imagine as a people, but this is reality. Look at this brother back here. The good doctor also notes that although the ignorant, now if I speak like I'm speaking, I have the right to speak like this. The good doctor also notes that although the ignorant northerners, I say ignorant, not ignorant, ignorant northerners also witnessed the disease firsthand, they wrongly attributed the symptoms to the debasing influence of slavery on the mind. Although drapetomania was listed in some medical books as late as 1914, it was derived in the North almost immediately after it was published. An 1815 issue of the Buffalo Medical Journal and Monthly Review of Medical and Surgical Science took particular pleasure in mocking Cartwright's theory. So they mocked it, so why I can't mock it? In 1855 issue of the Buffalo Medical Journal and Monthly Review of Medical and Surgical Science took peculiar pleasure, as I'm taking peculiar, I take pleasure in mocking what this man said about my ancestors. And not saying, oh, he just did it because everybody got to survive. Took particular pleasure. I take pleasure in mocking Cartwright theory. Just like Elijah took pleasure in mocking them people that was doing that stuff inside the temple. I take pleasure in it. Yes, I do. Noting that Drapetomania was a disease peculiar to the South. That's where the Negroes was at, like I told y'all. Which is, we believe, entirely confined to that section and only manifests at the North in certain analogous, if not identical forms. These analogous forms the disease that occur north of the Mason-Dixon line. The Dixon line. What Elder Malcolm X say? Materialized in the schoolboys of the North, who became overwhelmed with the desire to escape their type, own servitude, and play hooky. The journal expresses sarcastic gratitude that Dr. Cartwright cure is equally applicable in these cases, namely whipping the patients, while his contemporary party is certainly refreshing. It is important to remember. So to heal these people from running, he said they whip them. That's your medicine. You're mentally ill for wanting to be free. Mentally ill for not wanting to suffer. It is important to remember that for every Northerner who mocked Cartwright's pseudoscience, there was a Southerner who believed it. Think about that. So how many people believe that it ain't nothing to see here? Get over the past. Next, read about the dark and dirty slavery behind the founding of Iceland. Then check out these letters written by former slaves to their former masters. Hey family, I left this down here in here for y'all pleasure, so y'all can go and read what our ancestors felt about being put inside a chain and told that you was mentally ill for wanting to be free. And this right here article was from the 2nd of 2005. It was refreshed at 8:41 p.m. So family, if they don't have this online no more, I'm gonna put an email where y'all can join me underneath the video. You can select that email and get a copy of this right here if you desire it. All right. So this right here, this is the PDF format that I created for y'all, where y'all can. It's an article online, and you can read the whole article, you know. And there's a video down here. I don't know if the video belonged to them, but there's a video underneath there. And I just thought that I want to come on here and, you know, do like Jeremiah a little bit, so we can see the importance of why we should never forget and why we should want to be liberated out of this situation and not just live this perpetually forever as a perpetual slave in servitude. And family, I'm going to look up that article that I did on Yahweh willing. I will redo that thing again that I did on the state of our people having a form of amnesia. All right, and I want y'all to like this video and share it and let our people know, this is the reason why a lot of us don't trust going to psychologists. In order to be, listen, if you think that the way that the stuff is going right now is sufficient and good, how can a person go to you as a doctor if they are people? We can't trust no person like that to be our doctor, and you believe stuff like this. How could we trust a person like that to be our doctor? Oh, and family, I changed the background. I liked that design that somebody had created for the room right there, and I want y'all to tell me how y'all think, how y'all like it. And I changed my microphone, and y'all tell me if y'all like this microphone right here. Let me pause this real quick, and I'll be right back, fam. I'm gonna turn up this instrument, and I'm finna be right back. I'm with you in a little bit. All right. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, the microphone that I'm using is the NT1, and if you like this microphone, what I did is there's a microphone app, and I just want to give them a shout out, and I never get the opportunity to do this. I forget to do this. Waves is giving away a free I think they giveaway is done, but there's a UAD plugin that y'all need to go and check out. I share a video on my page. The time is almost out. It's called 1176, and if you do lives, you need to go and get this plugin before the time period run out. Okay. Get this plugin before the time period run out. And if you want your microphone to sound a little bit better, go and get the mic mod. And whatever brand your mic is, select your brand on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, select whatever brand that you're looking to buy to see how it would sound. Because I believe that the real mic will sound a lot better. But if you get a mic that you like, if you hear the mic sound that you like the best, then that's the one you pick. So since I didn't pick that microphone yet, I picked the NT1. I like this microphone. It sounds really good. How you doing, Bonta? I like this microphone. It sounds really good. So, fam, I'm about to head up out of here. I hope y'all like the background. I might use that more. That background. One day I would like to design a room and make it look something like that. My mother, when we used to do spring cleaning and stuff, we used to design the house and, like put stuff together as a family, and so I like to look at designs or whatever. But anyway, yeah, that's what I want to do. And so family, I want to head up off of here. Thank you, Vanta. But I'm going to head off of here in the song that I'm finna play. I hope that you enjoy it. Please make sure to go and check out my album online. I got a new song. Well, not a new song, but a remix of a song that I recorded at Clay Cut Studio. It's called Stop Hating. When the song drop, you will see it. So just go to my channel. My music channel is in my About Me on YouTube. And you can go down there, you'll see my music channels. Make sure that if you're not following those music channels, to follow that so that you can get an update on whatever song that's coming out. I got a new song coming out, all right? And I'm working on new music. So I want y'all to be a part of my success. When one make it, we all make it, all right? And I want to say shalom, and I hope you enjoy this track. All right.
No time shoe here. No time dancing here. No shucking jive here. There's plenty sisters missing and plenty being abused. But when you look on TV, it don't be in the news. So what we gonna do is we gon' stand by and keep a gender war while watching people die. It's pretty easy to pretend that we figured out, but we can never really push a little baby out. Our sisters being here, my brother through thick and thin, through the wickedness, yeah, even the same sin. There's no pain on this earth can compare to the way that it feels when the mother giving birth to baby. People trying to fake it but can never duplicate it. It's a whole lot of haters on this earth, fake it, they can take another reason. I don't understand how a man can rape a lady and he spend 9 months as a baby in his mama belly. I'm sorry for the pain and the suffering that you've been through. I wish I could do more for the right in this. Don't you cry. You got a brother here. You got a hug here. You got a brother here, sister. You got a hug here. Say don't you give up. Say don't you give up. You got a brother here. You got a brother here. You got a brother here. You zesty and they unclean, acting in the character. What you see is what you getting at the mass hysteria. But who the people? We the people. We belong to Allah. I ain't supposed to worship Hamashiach, but we calling on that iron. Says your red boy, she leading many to the fire, so that whip will crack a latch up to the shadow. Look, man, I'm sick and tired of waiting, searching, looking for somebody else. Danger everywhere. Every time we turn another murder, stuck up in his hole, waiting on that chain to come. Gotta do our time, but I wanna be free now. It ain't safe, no place on the earth for getting beat down on the folk corner. Many ways, let's pray this track. Get ready for the people that be praying for the sheep, people standing for the weak, seeking to lift the weak, who been beat by this wicked system. Although the people of the land of Yasharal lay captive on the folk corner, soon to return, be encouraged. You got a brother here. You got a hug here. You got a brother here, sister. You got a hug here.